you've got the Chiefs over the Bills in your power rankings this week. You've got the Chiefs
and Steelers, by the way,
at number 2. You've got the Chiefs over Buffalo. What was there a game?
All right, so yes, there was, and I've said many times, and I know it sounds ridiculous, but I think it's true, that game results are only one data point. And I know that's crazy. Oh, that's all that matters. Well, yeah, it does. Well, the Chiefs played at Buffalo. They were down 2 points when they went for the touchdown. Josh Allen, great play, obviously, awesome play. And I just think what happens on a neutral field? Did that prove to me that the Bills are a far superior team than the Chiefs? No. This Chiefs team still started 9-0. They have the history. The history does matter here. We know what Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid can do. I still think the Jets deserve, I still think the Chiefs deserve that number 2 spot, even ahead of the Bills who got that win. Look, we forget, right? The Bills have had bad days already this season. Didn't look great against the Texans. They got blown out by the Ravens. So we just forget it because recency bias. The Chiefs have won all their games, a lot of close wins, and we've talked about that too. But I think if we're lining up these teams, I think the Chiefs still deserve the number 2 spot over the Bills.
It's so funny because I think we often talk about if these teams were to play neutral field, who's going to win? And I like that that's kind of the framework you use for deciding this. You have to tell me, is this game going to be in September, October, November, December, or is this going to be a playoff game? Because I will pick the Bills pretty much every time in the regular season. And I will pick the Chiefs pretty much every time in the playoffs. I would love for all of Buffalo if they prove that wrong. But I just think that there's a different level. So I think to me, the question is our criteria a regular season winner, the one more likely to win in the playoffs? I
also need a neutral site for this. We need to workshop this because I always just say neutral. I want something like we're going to play in, Smith Stadium in Omaha, Nebraska or something like that. We need to workshop this.
Take him down to or Neyland. Take him down to a big old SEC stadium. Let 100,000 people get in there.
What about some high school stadium? I want to see the Chiefs and Bills play a neutral site, some Division 6 Colorado high school football stadium.
Don't give Goodell any ideas. He'll move this thing to London. He'll flex it to London somehow to actually try and grow the game. As disgusting as that sounds.
Hey, we saw Chiefs Dolphins in Munich last year.
I know, and I didn't like that either.
Because you didn't wake up for it, Fitz. We already know.
I don't like things in the morning.
I don't like routine being broken. Jory, we're not that dissimilar. You're the really smart version of me, but we're not that dissimilar in our version of loving systems and practices and everything, like not being able to accomplish moderation. We have a lot in common. So in my mind, I'm going to use my words. The Bills beat the Chiefs in the playoffs. We will feel a collective sigh of relief from the entire NFL community, right? Everybody,
as we've talked about, Fitz, I was at Buffalo Wild Wings in Highlands Ranch, Colorado, and obviously there's a rivalry there, but you would have thought I was in a bar in the middle of Buffalo. It was every time the Bills did anything, that place was going nuts. The Broncos game was going on, and people tuned it out just to root against the Chiefs.
Yeah, I think there was this prevailing, God, can the Bills just get over the hump? Can they somehow, and then, at some point, organizationally, they'll have to deal with a bunch of Super Bowl losses they have in their history as well. So, this has just become one of those things where every time the Bills have a moment of greatness, they just can't get over that thing. So, I don't know. I feel like America...
Almost nobody does every year. I'd like to remind us that 31 teams don't get over it every year.
Well,
they don't all have the moments of greatness, but...
Yeah, this is also
when you lose heartbreak after heartbreak after heartbreak.
This is also Patrick Ewing and Karl Malone and John Stockton going up against Michael Jordan. That's all it is. That's how we're going to look back at this decade.
And Jory, I hear you. This is why whenever somebody says, well, the Cowboys haven't won a Super Bowl since the 90s. I'm like, no kidding. Look at how many teams haven't won Super Bowls since the 90s. It's not that unusual for a team to go through a period of, but it's the Cowboys. I understand.
No. It's actually not true because I can't remember if it was making it to a Super Bowl or making it to an NFC a conference title game. But actually, statistically, the likelihood to go 30 years without it is pretty rare. So the Cowboys are defying some odds
title
there.
game is the bugaboo here because I think it's only Washington.
Winning a Super Bowl, drought,
right? 1981.
Right. But almost nobody has gone longer.
Lions, I guess. No, Lions have made it last year.
And they've had so many opportunities. They make the playoffs pretty often.
Yes.
But isn't that what we're saying about the Bills? They have so many opportunities right now. They make the playoffs every year, and then they get beat by the Chiefs every year. It's funny. The Bills went to 4 straight Super Bowls and lost those 4 straight Super Bowls. That's just, how do you lose 4 consecutive Super Bowls? That's just such a different, how do you lose to Mahomes with 13 seconds left? I think at this point, heartbreak is part of the Bills Bills legacy for these fans. Like, I just want the Bills to get a Super Bowl because, damn it, they've suffered so much. They deserve it.
Bills,
Wide
Lions,
right.
Super Bowl. Who's America rooting for? Lions, right?
Lions, 100%.
But Bills it's almost like Cubs versus Cleveland in 2016. Like, yeah, one team hasn't won since 1948. Like, they're exactly, they could use a title too, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like there's this moment where America is certainly, and this happens with every great dynasty, right? We got tired at some point of Golden State. Not we, this show, but like the general population got tired of Golden State winning championship after championship. So all of a sudden, you find that it sort of shifts. I feel like that shift is happening for the Chiefs, and they've gone from being beloved to being sort of bad guys in the eyes of men. It's just people get bored with the fact. I think not even bored. I think people get frustrated with the fact that when their favorite team looks bad, their favorite team loses. When the Chiefs look bad, the Chiefs still win. It just doesn't make any sense.
My two arguments against that, because I definitely have people in my life who are casual football fans at best, who are like, I'm just ready for the Chiefs to lose and we're excited about the Bills winning, is one, when Brady did this, Brady was not fun. I'm not saying what he didn't do worked, but he was not fun to follow. Patrick Mahomes is fun and he's more relatable. And I do think that we should feel differently about his success than people felt about Tom Brady. Also, the Chiefs, from what we know, cheat less than the Patriots do. So, like, kudos to them for that. The other thing I'll say is that on one hand, if they start winning 5 times, yeah, obviously it's going to be who can beat them. But no one has ever won 3 times in a row. So I feel like we shouldn't be sick of this just from like a football fandom history situation yet, because they would do something no one's ever done. And that's exciting, right?
And I don't remember people being like this about the 49ers in the 80s. I don't, maybe I'm misremembering because I was younger, but I think this is kind of a new phenomenon where anytime, and the Yankees of the late 90s but not even the Bulls. Like, some people are sick of them. Everybody seemed to be rooting for Jordan, right? Like, that's why everybody tuned in to Game 6 against the Jazz. Like, this is kind of a new phenomenon of, we're sick of you because you win too much. Get out of here. We're going to root against you. Even if you're as likable as the Chiefs really are.